You know, I mean, they should call Sephora boat. Bust out another 1,000. This is where you come to spend all of your paycheck. Alright guys, so welcome back. My name is What You Do, and today we are going to try out the virtual artist application on the Sephora app. Let's give it a try. Let's see if it works really good or if it doesn't. So this is another video about what you do or what you don't. Let's give it a try.
Hey guys, so sorry my microphone for some reason stopped recording at this point, so during the tutorial process I will be doing voiceover. So right now this is my home screen of my phone. We're going to go ahead and click on the Sephora app that you can download from the App Store or the Google Play Store. Once you click on it and it finally decides to load, you'll come to the home screen. So on the home screen, you are going to go ahead and click the lines up on the top and it'll put the drop down menu. You want to go down to Virtual Artist all the way at the bottom, and you want to go ahead and click on Virtual Artist. This usually takes about a minute or two to load up. I don't know why it always takes forever, but it does. So we'll go ahead and bring it up. So when the app has fully loaded, you want to scroll down to Virtual Tutorials and you want to click See All. Once you do that, you may have to download a couple of them from this app, but today we're going to try Browse 3 Ways. So we're going to go ahead and click on that one, Browse 3 Ways. And it opens it up immediately to the tutorial itself. Right here, I was trying to see if I could still do this with my phone sideways instead of up and down, but unfortunately it wasn't going to let me do it, which is why this tutorial may be on a smaller screen scale, because we all know that when you film a YouTube video, you are supposed to film it long ways. So I flipped it right now. So step 1 is telling us that we basically had to put on an eye primer. So I use the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer to go ahead and prime my eyebrows, and that's what I'm doing right now, just brushing it on the hair and on the parts where I'm going to actually be applying the liner. Next, in step 2, this is the Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil that I am using in dark brown. It is telling us that from our nostrils to the inside corner of our eye, this is where we are going to mark our first line. And I'll go ahead and speed this up for you guys. Alright, and in step 3, it is telling us now that we have to make our arch, which you'll put on your nostril and across basically the black part of your eye up until the arch of your eye socket. Once you find this, you'll want to go ahead and leave a tiny little mark right here. And I'll go ahead and speed this up for you guys. In step 4, it is telling us now that we have to mark the end of the eyebrow. So what we want to do is we want to place our eye pencil on our nostril again. And it's literally going to lay right above the cheekbone, right at the corner of the eye. And then we just want to go ahead and mark the ending to this. The Sephora tutorial was telling me that this is where it goes, although I think this is kind of close to my eye and a little low. I went ahead and just did the placement here. I'll go ahead and speed up the video right here for you guys. Alright, and then in step 5, what it is now telling us to do is to basically go ahead and connect the dots and fill it in. The app is showing like lines, especially on the side right there in the eyebrow. It's showing like these odd side lines. I personally would not make those kinds of lines. If you look, it may look kind of bad, so I personally wouldn't do it. You guys can do it however you want, but I'm basically just going to connect the dots right now, make the outline of my eyebrow, and then I'll go ahead and fill it in by flicking the pencil, starting from the bottom and going up, flicking it in a feathering motion. So as we're watching the videos speed up, you guys are going to notice that this was pretty difficult to do just using my phone to do this. I ended up having to grab one of my little mirrors and using it to do this. So I apologize if my face goes out of frame a couple times during this process. While I was filling it into on my right eyebrow, I've had it pierced before and the eyebrow ring got ripped out a long time ago. So I have an indentation of a pretty bad scar that's right there. So whenever I do my eyebrows on the right side, it's always pretty difficult to do it because of that indentation. So I try really hard to make it as perfect as possible when I do this technique. So yeah, so if you guys notice that, don't worry, please don't leave anything bad in the comments about it. I know, I'm aware of it. I'll just try to make this as perfect as I can. In step 6, it is now telling us to go ahead and apply a brow gel, pomade, or a wax. For this step, I always like to use the Anastasia Beauty Brow Gel. This stuff is amazing, guys. If you have a chance and an extra $10 to spare, trust me, it is well worth it to use and to wear. It lasts all day and it makes your eyebrows look on fleek. You finish with step 6, you then click to the last screen, which shows you the end result of the brow tutorial for natural brows, and it also kind of re-shows you the lines and the points that you made and how following the tutorial made your eyebrows look. So this is what my eyebrows look like following the tutorial. Tell me what you guys think, and we'll go ahead and we'll move on to the contour highlight. One last tip before we move on in this tutorial is sometimes I get a spacing in my eyebrow right there. If you take your eyebrow pencil and make it a little longer than what you normally would, you want to use it to make some little hairs right there in that spacing where the brow liner may show a little bit more, to kind of just fill that in and make the eyebrows look more realistic. So what you want to do is you just want to take it and you want to place it in that area, and you want to press it pretty hard and flick it up. And as you move closer down towards your nose, you want to make those hairs just a little bit shorter than the rest of them that you're making, just so it gives more of a realistic effect, and also add a little bit of curvature when you flick it. This will give the illusion that you have hair there. A fellow makeup artist actually showed me this trick and technique, and it has worked wonders for me. It is an amazing technique. We're going to go ahead and start the tutorial for the highlighting. So when you click on it, it is going to open up the intensity that you like. I had to turn this up kind of high, you guys, so you could see it on camera of the placement. Then after you set it, it will then ask you your skin tone. I am a medium, so that is the one I have selected. Then once you do that, it'll give you a list of things that they would recommend you use. For this tutorial, I am going to use the Anastasia Glow Kit palette, and the two colors I'm going to use for this is going to be Starburst and Marshmallow, two of my favorite for summertime colors. The other two I would probably only use in the autumn time just because they do come off as kind of dark, and you wouldn't want to use those in the summertime if you're going to be applying contour. So now I'm using the It brush from the back to school kit that you can get at Ulta for crease. I find that this is really good for applying the highlight to my face because the bristles are nice and wide, they're loose. It, for me, makes it seem like a flawless application for the highlighter. Step 2, it is telling us that we are going to apply the highlight to the highest points of the cheekbones and apply it from beneath the outer third of the eye. When you do this, the easiest way I can tell you is where the light hits your cheekbones, that's where you should apply it. And then the outer third of the eye, pretty much right on the eye socket in the middle of it, up to the eyebrow right above it is where you want to apply it. So I'm going to go ahead and take my It brush and I am going to dip or dab it right into the Anastasia Marshmallow color, which is the white color. It has a really pretty iridescent hue to it. And as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and place it right at the top of my cheekbone. And I'm going to blend it up into the outer third of my eye. And then I will continue it going upwards above my eyebrow bone. And I'll go ahead and speed up the video from here so that you guys can enjoy it. So here you guys will see, like I said in the beginning, I'm going to go ahead and dab into Starburst in my Anastasia Glow Kit palette. And I'm just going to do the same thing I was doing with Marshmallow. I'm going to apply it to top of my cheekbones, to the outer thirds of my eye, and then I'm going to bring it up just above my eyebrow bone. In step 3, I'm going to use my IT brush for contourings from the Velvet collection. It wants us to go ahead and brush upwards in a C motion to create the halo effect around the eye sockets and underneath the eye on the cheekbone. So this brush is amazing for this. I found that it really works in softening any harsh lines that may have been created from this, or even harsh lines from contour. So you can get these, you can get the whole set at Ulta for, I think they're still $98. I believe I got these on sale for $32, but amazing collection. Absolutely love it, guys. In step 4, we are now going to place highlight on the bridge of our nose. I'm going to take my IT crease brush and I'm going to dip it into Marshmallow in my Anastasia Glow palette. I am then going to brush it onto the bridge of my nose where the tutorial is telling me to place it. In step 5, we are now going to place a small dab of highlight on our Cupid's bow at the top part of our lip. I will dip back into the Marshmallow and the Anastasia Glow palette kit, and I will just lightly brush that on. In step 6, we are now going to highlight below the arch of our eyebrow as well as the inner corners of our eyes. And to accomplish this, I'm going to go ahead and use my IT crease brush again, dipping into Marshmallow in my Glow kit. I am then going to go ahead and basically highlight the fatty part of my eyelid right below my eyebrow. And then I will just take the brush at an angle and do the insides of my eyes. In step 7, it is saying that we should apply a setting powder to our brows, around our nose, mouth, and our chin. However, I'm not going to do this because I bake my face before I apply everything else, so I already have enough setting powder on. And then we come to the last screen after step 7, and it shows us the end result where we had our whole placements, how we put our foundation on, and everything should line up if it was done correctly. So now we move on to contouring in our virtual tutorial. We're going to go ahead and click on contouring. You may have to download this, you may not. Once it comes up, it is then going to take a picture of your face shape. You do have to be careful on how you place your head and how you place the camera when you do this. If it's done correctly, it'll go ahead and let you do it. If it's not correct, it basically will give you an error message telling you that it couldn't find your face, which you're going to see right now. And there it is, telling me that basically it couldn't pick up my face or the angles weren't right. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK, and I'm going to try it again, fitting my face a little bit more in between the square corners that it's giving me, and then I'm going to try it again. And then now it's telling me that I am actually a square type face, which is very odd because my face is obviously oval, but we're going to go ahead and just roll with it and continue the contour for a square face. So right here it tells you the recommended products for this tutorial, yada yada yada. And we're going to go ahead and hit start tutorial. And in step 1, it's wanting us to, clean face, moisturize before applying foundation concealer, which we've already done. For the contour, I'm going to use the Anastasia Contour palette in light to medium. This is my favorite contouring palette. Very worth the $27. It's lasted forever. I'm going to use the lighter of the contour shades for my face and the 2 pinks and not the yellow today. In step 2, it is wanting us to use the lighter contour shades to just highlight the areas where light naturally hits our face, and just following the lines on the tutorial that it's giving us. I am going to use both the pinks in my Anastasia Contour palette right here up at the top, but not the yellow today. Honestly, the brush that I'm using to do this with the lighter shades, I even know what exactly it is. I've had it for a really long time, a couple years. It's just a regular powder brush, so just any powder brush that you would use to apply, like, let's say your contour or your highlight, you can use. Just make sure to wipe it off before you use it to make sure that you don't get any of the dark contour up near your eyes. Dipping into the pink, I'm going to go ahead and just follow the tutorial and where it's telling me to place it, and I'll speed it up from here. So in step 3, this is where it's going to get a little weird looking. If you look at the arrows on my face, some of the arrows are saying to go in one direction and some are saying to go in a back and forth direction. This is where you're going to use your darker colors in your contour palette. I'm going to take those 2 darker colors to the left side of my contour palette, and I'm going to use those when I do this. The brush I'm using is a brush I got from, I believe, an Ipsy bag. It's a small contour brush. I love it. It's amazing. It's just big enough and just small enough for the job. So I never put contour on my nose. You guys aren't going to see me do that. Every time I've done it, it's never come out right. It looks horrible on me. And I would personally never start my contour right where my mouth begins and then go towards my ears. I always start from my ears and go towards my mouth. I find that this looks better on my face shape, but again, the app said I had a square face shape, which I know it's not. It's oval. It's obvious, guys. In step 4, you can really see how crucial it is that the camera placement is just right during the snapshot of your face shape that they take. I look horrified right now because the placement looks horrendous. I went ahead and I tried looking under the pro tip area to see if this was for a cream or a powder, because they're describing in step 4 to dab or to just kind of like pat your brush in your face, almost like you would do with a cream contour. I do attempt to do it, but it's not working and it's not making it look any better. It's actually making it look worse. So I start actually just blending it like I normally would with my IT contour brush, which you're seeing right here. In the last step, it's wanting us to go ahead and set it with our setting spray, which I'm not going to do because this looks horrible. Again, this was for a square shaped face, which I am not. I might have mistaken the angle of the camera, and that's why this happened. I am an oval shaped face, but this just goes to show how the app can make mistakes as well.
It's time to say goodbye. This was another video for the books, everyone, for my channel on what you do or what you don't. Me personally, it's a what you don't, because I already know how to do my makeup. I know a lot of people out there are going to talk shit right now and say that I don't. But I do know how to do my makeup. I feel that there's still a lot of like kinks that need to be worked out of the app. They need to be more descriptive, not take it more step by step. For someone who's just never done makeup. The eyebrows, they showed you like the little lines. I can already see girls right now making the lines that go like that. You don't want to do that. All they're saying is basically they're wanting you to fill that in. I would outline the eyebrow first. It'll make it 1,000 times easier. And they didn't tell you to blend this end of the brush and just blend it. So that'd be another oopsie boopsie. I just don't want any females to go around looking like shit, because Sephora's this knight in shining armor. This is where you come to spend all of your paycheck. They should call Sephora boat. Bust out another 1,000, because it seriously seems like that's how much you spend when you go into that store. How they apply their concealer, they maybe need to add that to the virtual artist. There are people out there that don't know how to apply concealer. If Sephora's going to make a virtual artist, the virtual artist needs to do what a makeup artist would do. Makeup artist would show you how to apply a primer, would show you how to do the concealer. There's a lot of women I see every day. I don't say anything to unless they were to ask me, but I don't say anything because it's like, hey,
girl, that may be your look.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't want you to judge me for my look. You do you, boo. That's my only thing. So for me personally, it's a what you don't. What do you guys think though? Tell me in the comments below. Would you guys use the app as an everyday thing or as a learning curve? Would you let your daughters use the app to learn how to do makeup? Or would you say, no, screw that. I'll just show them. I'll watch some YouTube videos shit. Because I know I've said it 1,000 times. I'm going to really try to post at least one video a week. I'm getting a lot of love here. Show you guys that I care about that and I appreciate the love I'm getting. So guys, tell me in the comments below, what you doing in your hometown? And I guess I'll see you guys in the next one.